welcome to my February Plan With Me video. January was pretty tough for me emotionally, so I decided to simplify some things in my setup this month, and I chose a really simple and cute theme. I'll be drawing pastries and little hearts. I'm making very simple layouts and filling in the background of all the pages with doodles. I'm only using 2 fineliners and 2 colored markers. First, I'm making my title page and my monthly calendar. For the headers, I'm just making a pink line for the background, and I'm using a small all capitals font, and I'm leaving pretty big spaces between the letters so it looks light and airy. For the main headers, I'm using a thicker fineliner, and I'm using a thinner one for everything else. I'm drawing 2 kinds of pastries, croissants and cinnamon rolls. I'm drawing out the shape with my marker first, and then drawing in the details with my fineliner afterwards. They're pretty easy to draw. For the cinnamon rolls, you just draw a circle, and then with your fineliner, you add a spiral with the beginning of the spiral touching the inner curve. For the croissants, you just draw a kind of crescent or half circle shape, and then with the fineliner you draw in a triangle in the middle with rounded edges, and then 2 more little shapes on each side. The outer shapes should be a bit thinner than the middle triangle, because if you imagine a croissant, the pastry is wrapped up over itself, and the middle part is on top, so that's the biggest. The outer shapes look better if the top line is a bit longer than the bottom line. But it's hard to really mess it up, and if it doesn't look perfect, it can still look like a croissant since they don't look perfect either. When I'm done with the pastries, I'm just filling in the empty spaces with some pink hearts. I'm drawing plain boxes for all my spreads, with sharp corners, no drop shadows or anything, so it's simple and clean. I love that this month is 4 complete weeks. The calendar for this month is so satisfying. On the next page, I'm making 2 boxes for my monthly goals and tasks, and I'm adding my habit tracker underneath. I'm not using a whole page for my habit tracker this month. I used to track 12 habits, but I got a bit overwhelmed by it in January. A lot of the habits I was tracking were things I do regularly, and tracking them didn't motivate me to do them more often, but it did make me kind of tense and dissatisfied when I didn't do them. So I decided to prioritize. I let go of a bunch of my trackers, and I only did the 6 habits that are most important to me. I changed the layout for my habit tracker too. I used to do a chart, but I drew individual little calendars this month. There's only 6, so it won't be difficult to keep track of, plus I just had to since the calendar for this month is a perfect rectangle. I drew the outlines of the calendars between the dot grids, so the dots actually represent the days of the month. Next, I'm making my gratitude log and a space for random notes that don't go anywhere else. I changed this too. I used to do a whole page for notes, but I haven't been really using it that much, so a smaller space is enough. And for my gratitude log, I used to do a daily log with all the days of the month written out beforehand, but I feel like I want to go easier on myself this month. I don't want to put pressure on myself to write something every single day. I'll just add things here as they come to mind, so I can write more than one a day, or I can skip days if I feel like it. I mean, I could skip days with my daily log too, but seeing the empty days just made me feel bad. Here I'm making my expense tracker. I've simplified this a little bit too. I used to leave a space to write down what my balance is at the beginning and the end of the month outside the little chart where I write down my expenses, and I did my bill tracker separately too. This month I decided to put all of these at the top of the chart in the first few lines. This way it looks cleaner and it's easier on the eye. For my expense tracker I have 5 columns. In the first column I write the description, in the second I write if it was cash or card, I write the amount in the third column if it's income, in the fourth if it's an expense, and I'll update the total in the last column whenever I add something to the list. Those were all my monthly spreads, and now I'm making my first weekly spread for February. I'm so happy that this month is starting with a Monday because this way I can't mess up the days and dates in my weekly spread like I often do. I tend to write Monday as the first day of the month even when it's supposed to be another day. I've changed my weekly spread too. I've been doing a rolling weekly spread for a while now, but I feel like I want to have individual spaces for each day. It just feels better somehow. When I started the rolling weekly, I also felt like I needed a change and that layout is what would help me feel more organized and clear-headed. But after using it for a while, it started stressing me out somehow, so I'm changing it up again. That's one of the things I love about bullet journaling. It's so versatile. If you get tired of something, you can just change it to suit your needs better. So I'm making a column for the days of the week on the left side, and on the right side I'll have a space where I will write down my 3 top priority tasks for the week, a to-do list where I can write down everything I want to get done that week, and I can add the tasks from there to my dailies as I go along. On the bottom I'll also be adding a place to write down things I want to get done but won't have time for this week, so I can remember to write them down next week. So those are all my spreads for February, and here's the final flip through. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.